can actually visit the memory.
This is what's going to turn out that one of us is a demon lord, isn't it? But
Now, this is the kind of information you get from the crystal. It is a fact long since forgotten, but the Oni were not always slaves. There was a time when they had their own traditions and tribes. One of them was blessed and protected by the dragon whelp Flemergosa, who loved the Chaos Storm children dearly. Sadly, the young dragon was overcome by madness and brought ruin to the children it loved dearly, erasing them from history. By the way, in that last fight, Alyssia, when the Oni was in his first stage and still thrashing about angrily before he started getting purified, your brain was, shall we say, getting a little bit fried because of your, shall we say, certain condition. You felt something similar to the Oni, almost like you were connected. Let's say your brain was trembling a bit.
I'm assuming it's because of my curse.
Yes. It seems that whatever was plaguing the Oni is connected to what's plaguing you.
So...
Which might be one of the reasons why the Oni actually actively sought you guys out.
I'm going to look towards the crystal, and you said we can almost go there? Sort of?
Yes, you feel like if you focus and activate it, you might be able to go there. Almost like the spirit realm is linked, and it is going to take you there.
Ah. I'm going to look towards Lucretia. It's like, we could probably find something if we go here.
Go where?
What you see from the crystal and the memory, you see the Great Plains, you see cherry blossoms, you see the great beautiful mountains that you saw in the reality marble. You see a small village, very neat, with many Oni living there. But something is happening, trouble is brewing, and the once great protector, the whelp dragon that was guarding the children it loved so dearly, has turned on them, and the Oni are going to fight what was once their protector. Even though it's just a whelp, the dragon is of immeasurable strength. The Oni do not stand a chance.
So if we go there, do we see the fight? Well, will we see the fight?
I suggest we wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we should wait until we have gear in case we get in the middle of a dragon attack.
Hopefully we'll get rewarded.
Lucretia is going to wrap a piece of twine around the crystal and wear it as a necklace, but behind the pendant, so it's hidden.
Gotcha.
Heresy hidden behind piousness.
I do not know what you're talking about. This is valuable information that I can use against my enemy. Also, a spirit that I purified gave it to me. Obviously, this is not heresy.
Also, Alyssia suddenly pipes up. It may be that I'm the reason it was drawn here.
Oh?
When it was on its limping legs, I felt something. As if I was connected to it somehow.
You mean through that curse?
Yes.
Huh. Well, at the very least, we're gonna find something else out if we go there. We need to get the curse off you to begin with.
That would be most gratifying.
Okay, everyone get to bed. We'll go to the guild tomorrow, try getting some money and gear, and then see about what this is.
Right. So, you guys are gonna turn in for the night. And since you have paid for exactly one night, next morning after you've had your breakfast, you guys are gonna be kicked out. Luckily, the guy from last that you were partying with earlier that night, he's like gonna stay the night here, obviously because of reasons. So he's like, fuck it, let's have breakfast together as well, why not? So he's gonna treat you to at least a nice meal before you're kicked out of the tavern for good.
Isn't the innkeeper a bit surprised after being all dramatic of us not going out there?
Well, to be fair, as soon as you guys walked in, the innkeeper was already under the table because he got jumped really early. He got taken out of the fight rather early, you know. So it didn't work out. It was a bad night for him.
Unfortunately, he wasn't conscious enough to give me money.
Yeah, it worked out like that, sadly.
But I did get us a bit of pocket change.
Right, so the new day has rolled around. It's early, you've had breakfast, and you're kicked out of the inn unceremoniously because nobody likes customers that are not paying. And thus, the new day begins.
Haha.
There's already talk around town about how the spirit issue was solved last night and how everybody's super grateful about that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Question is, are we mentioned?
Of course.
Okay. I guess we should
Nice.
go to the Adventurers Guild to ask about any missions we could do.
Yep.
And subtly ask about maybe possibly a reward for doing that, but not like outright.
Gotcha. So, as you guys enter the inn, you're greeted by one of the inn assistants, the girl that you actually spoke with yesterday, and she greets you with a smile. Welcome to the guild. What can I help you with today?
Yeah, we were just wondering if there's any reward for the spirit thing.
Lucretia
there is.
immediately face palms because that's the exact opposite of what she said to do.
Smooth it is. Smooth. Love it, by the way. Just say it. Just love it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like
as you say that, the girl looks a bit disappointed for a moment and says, sadly, that wasn't really a job that was issued out. It was more like a warning for everybody. So technically, we didn't expect anybody to complete it. As such, there wasn't a reward. However, one of the adventurers did find it, shall we say, fitting that you should be rewarded for your hard work, and he did left something as a pseudo reward for you. Although technically the guild does not condone this change of currency, on his behalf you have been rewarded.
Oh.
And she says, just a moment, I'll go get, well, your earnings.
Yeah, she turned around. See, it worked out.
it would appear we have attracted attention.
Well, it's the same everywhere we go. Not exactly normal.
True. I didn't say it was necessarily bad. Although we should be on the lookout. Someone might try to take advantage.
Fair
Oh.
enough.
Also, if we need a more, well, stable form of currency than just taking jobs, we can try and rent a shop or something and I can heal people, even though that's demeaning to be healing criminals.
I do not feel like running a shop. I have a mercenary guild back in the thing. Not really my thing, you know, just...
I'll take care of it. You can't do anything with business. You're just going to spend all of the money on sweets.
No, I'm not. I don't even like sweets. There's
Check.
the food on the other side, but still.
I didn't say food, I said sweets, as in rewards for yourself for me doing things.
Oh, you mean treats? Yes, I would. She admits wholeheartedly, like, yes. I think that's why Rohanna doesn't give me much money.
Yes, and that's why I'm holding on to the money.
Nah. You're very mean sometimes.
I'm very practical.
Mean.
Practical.
Not fun-loving.
I do like having fun. I just like having fun when it's purely beneficial and not you spending all of our money that we need for food and lodging on pretty dresses.
I don't buy dresses, you buy dresses. Never wearing a dress. Again.
You are wearing a dress when we go to Ovea.
You're gonna pay you back for that.
Everyone wears dresses in Ovea. If you don't wear a dress, you'll stand out.
Clearly they don't high kick.
By the way, did the music just die?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
you-
weird.
Were you waiting for us to stop because of the music?
No.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, that's weird.
take it from me. I wear a dress into battle, and I can still kick. I'm wearing plate armor.
You have pants on.
I'm wearing plate armor and a battle dress.
So wait, nobody else hears the music as well, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay, everybody
No
refresh then.
music.
Refreshing.
Anyway, we should probably make a list of things we need to buy in order of priority.
I guess armor for you guys is number one, and weapons. And paper. And ink. Pure
Well,
ink.
I was... One, you'll take any ink that you get. And
Music's
two,
back, right?
Yes.
we should probably more specifically prioritize. I know my equipment can be prioritized last, as I can still be useful as long as I have this. I point at my symbol. I just can't be a bodyguard.
That's true.
So we should probably work on getting
Horatius.
Horatius's equipment first.
And
then
daggers.
Alyssia.
Yes.
Then you're fine.
Paper
and
and
then
ink.
me. Then actually we should work on getting the paper and ink at the very first, so we can at least... Why do we need paper and ink again?
For my talismans. You ever see me use those things? Those things.
Alright, we'll get you paper and ink for your talismans.
Yes. By the way, how does Ovius explain those?
There's magic, spiritual arts, and miracles. One of them is heresy. One of them is okay, and the other one
Can you
is
guess
the
which
divine
one?
word of God.
Maybe they're just all the same and you're just talking shit.
Anyway, as this conversation is getting extremely dangerous, and one that the GM doesn't want you to have yet, because later it's gonna be much more, shall we say, destructive and impactful. The lady, you noticed that she's went to the side. She's talking with an adventurer who's relaxing at a nearby table with his friends, and he gives her a small coin pouch, which she takes. She bows to him, and she slowly comes back to you guys and says, "Here you go. This is your reward. Congratulations. Inside you should find an equivalent of 1,000 gold pieces."
I accept the pouch before Iris can touch it, and I...
It was just looking...
1,000 gold, holy fucking crap.
Yep. She also says, the guild has taken it upon itself, even though we cannot reward you, we have decided to promote you thanks to your efforts from last night, so congratulations. I will get the paperwork started immediately. I'll just need you to hang around for a few more minutes until it's ready, so it can be made official. Is that alright?
Yes.
That's fine.
Iris, go thank those adventurers.
Okay. She says happily and heads on over.
Right. As you're heading over towards the people that she took the money from, you notice that they're having a light conversation, just laughing it up, having fun, cracking jokes. What seems to be the leader notices you approaching, and he doesn't really say anything or get up from his chair as he's drinking his beer, even though it's morning. He just nods towards you and doesn't say anything.
I nod towards him as well and go, I would just like to thank you for your generous offer. Gift.
Pay it no mind. You put in good work, and you need to be rewarded for it. This place is a home to a lot of good folk, and you have done them a service. It was the least I could do for you.
We're glad we could help. Have a good day.
He
says.
nods.
Seems like a man of few words, but he looks cool. I like him.
Right. And with that, your paperwork is gonna be done in a few minutes. If you wanna do something else, go ahead, or we can proceed.
Shopping time!
Right. In that case, since there's nothing else, the attendant finishes off your papers, and it seems that you have been promoted. And also, since you guys have not messaged me about picking a name for your group, I have taken the liberty of choosing a name for you. As you take your cards, you see from that you have went up. You started with G rank, which is a trainee. You have been bumped up to D rank, which means skilled. And your little group has been registered as Little Rookie.
Of course we have.
I like
He
it.
also mentions this is considering the magnitude of what you have done. This is the biggest promotion we can give you right now without, well, causing any uproars. You understand. After all, getting up to this rank usually takes groups months, some of them even years.
It's fine, don't worry. As long as we can get better jobs and
At
a
any
better
rate,
chance
now
of
that you
ship.
have a more respectable rank, you will find that you have a lot more job openings and opportunities for work. So please continue to work hard both for yourselves and for the guild. And she smiles friendlily with a merchant smile.
Of course. Anyway, let's go shopping, guys.
On the cove, you would actually be surprised by the variety of gear, or would you, considering what type of place this is? You will notice that you can find pretty much everything here. For illegal goods are a bit, you're gonna have to run them past me. However, you can buy magical items as well. Everything that is up to rare.
What in the ass?
Yep.
Nice.
They
I
are
like this
close
place.
to Western Isles, and it seems like they're well connected.
Okay, well,
Keep
I
in mind
hate.
that everything has a 10% increase if it's a magical item. Bro.
That being said, we should
It's fine.
see
he
about
chooses
that
to
memory
succeed
crystal.
at begone thoughting.
Don't you think?
I nod.
Before we
Now
pay
that
for
we have
anything.
equipment, I think it would be a bit, well, safer.
True, but I would really like to bring the entire... Then again, I don't think there's going to be much change. I'm not sure how exactly this is going to work. Are we there as observers? Are we actually there? I mean, if it's in the Demon Lands, we're not going to get blighted, are we?
That's the thing. We don't know. That's why I wanted to get the equipment first, so we're just going to have to risk it.
I don't think our
So what
physical
is your
bodies-
plan?
Well, we're all going to get a tavern room for the night, and then we're going to gather around, and then we're going to take a peek.
By the way, somebody roll me perception.
My
Will
passive
do.
perception is 18.
Mine
Oh,
is
wait.
20, so screw you. But I'm guessing it's active perception.
Lucretia,
Lucretia, you
nice.
notice that there's a lot of activity of adventurers heading towards the guild. Usually that's a common place because people come and go out of the guild like all the time, like literally all day and probably most of the night. However, there seems to be, well, one-sided traffic around now. It seems like there's some whispers around the adventurers and everybody's gathering at the inn, not the inn, at the guild. Nobody's actually leaving. It seems like a lot of adventurers are gathering for some reason.
I'm gonna stop the conversation like mid-sentence, and then I'm just gonna say, come on, we need to go to the Adventurers League. Something's going on.
Sniff,
Or
sniff,
guild.
I smell
Sorry.
plot.
Sniff, sniff, sorry. Adventurers League is a different campaign.
Alright then, we're gonna go there. Because I smell plot.
Shh, you smell nothing, shut up.
Hey,
As you
look
guys
at them, they're
head back to
crits.
the guild, you notice that there's a lot of people outside because as big as the guild is, the crowd is just humongous. There's a lot of talk outside as you're making your way inside. People are discussing how some big-named adventurers are back in town. Something seems to be brewing and the guild is preparing to unleash some kind of special event, and that's probably why the big dogs are returning back to the cove, and everybody's super excited because usually this means a huge payday for everybody involved. So they're basically licking their chops. Inside the guild you see that mostly the higher ranked adventurers and the group leaders are up, and the place is still jam-packed to the brim pretty much. It seems like they're having some kind of heated discussion about what's going on, but you can't make heads or tails out of it yet.
I'm just gonna scratch my head. So, should we get as close as possible?
Get as close as you can. Safely, discreetly, we don't really know what's going on.
Understood.
on.
Can I literally leap above the crowd and land
Are you?
closer?
No. At this point, I'm grabbing your. I grabbed your shoulder.
You're-
I'm going to come with you, so I know that you're going to do exactly what I said, right, Iris?
She's crouched down a little bit as if she's about to jump. It's like, yes, of course.
Uncrouch right now.
Slowly stands.
I wrap my arm around her shoulder and we go through the crowd.
Okay.
Second time in a row this session, I've given you explicit instructions, and you're just like, fuck it.
I'm the leader. Don't listen to me.
Right, so what's
the
happening
leader.
right now?
Of the maturity of a 6-year-old.
Trying to listen,
For
trying to
quick
gain
confirmation,
information.
what's happening?
We're trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right. As you guys walk forward, you see that some of the more prestigious-looking adventurers and higher-ups of the guild are discussing and planning together actually for something. it seems that the conversation is basically centered around how there's an active volcano on the island, which you might have taken actually a peek at earlier as you were, well, making your way towards the cove, and how there seems to be some strange activity there related to to the strange things that happened a couple of days ago. So they're organizing a rather large party. This seems to be a group type event. They're not gonna send in single adventurers, only active groups of people that are basically going to be scouting the area. They're gonna be subjugating monsters, and a few of them are actually going to go inside the active volcano on a scout mission. They're basically talking about logistics and how everything is going to be handled, because there seem to be some, well, unprecedented conditions, shall we say. A lot of the dangerous monsters that were on the western part of the island where you guys crash landed seem to have been driven out of their territories and have sought refuge inside the cove's many caverns and underground networks, and some of them have made it inside the active volcano. So it seems like the monster threat level is through the roof.
Huh.
Basically everything that was around your area for some reason was scared into the active volcano and its tunnel networks. So
I wonder who did
yeah,
that.
it's kind of a hell zone right now.
Maybe it has to do with the giant turrets and all of the explosions.
Nah, it's fine.
Nah, dude. Animals love loud, frightening noises. Can't
Right.
get enough of them.
Is there anyone I can talk to that looks like he's trying to arrange for these parties? Because I basically want to say to Lucretia, like, should we volunteer for this? Since it's a big payday.
Yes.
As you're looking around to see, obviously the guild representatives are doing their job. They're organizing everything. However, the adventurers are also putting some, well, organization type rules on the table and everything being sorted out. The one man who's in the middle of the meeting, the guy that actually was kind enough to give you a reward out of his own pocket, seems to have unanimously been decided as the leader of this expedition. However, he just has his hands crossed and is not saying anything. He's just paying attention to the meeting and what everybody is talking back and forth, not really taking part of the conversation, just quietly hovering next to them.
I'm gonna try waving towards him.
He slowly raises his gaze towards you and raises his hand to one of the people near the table to signal that he's gonna walk off for a second, and then he walks over towards you, Iris, and just says, yes?
I was just wondering, something going on with the volcano and monsters? You wouldn't happen to need anyone to go in the depths of it, would you?
Everybody here has volunteered to do their part. Depending on your ranking, you will be assigned different duties if you wish to take part.
Oh, what does a D rank do?
Well, under normal circumstances, considering the threat of the monsters is judged B, maybe even A, depending on what we find inside. With the D ranking, groups like you will be handling support and basic camp management and securing the perimeter. However, there is something that I wanted to talk with you concerning that. Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
I look towards Lucretia, she's still here beside me, I go, of course.
He nods. And without saying anything, he just walks off, obviously expecting you guys to just follow him.
Follow.
I do so.
Yes, follow time.
He goes to a nearby table that's a little off to the side, so it's not as easy for everybody to just overhear your conversation, and takes a seat. He then motions for you guys to take a seat as well.
Okay, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard that you are new, registered recently, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you mind if I ask where you came from and how?
Well, shipwrecked on the western part of the isle, really. Or more washed up on the western part of the isle.
And before that, if you don't mind me asking, what were you doing?
I look towards the creatures just to see if a small motion, if it's okay to turn like we're from Western Isle, like stuff like that, mainland.
I nod.
We're from the mainland. We were coming from the Western Isles after that point, and, well, wound up here.
You seem to constantly be looking towards your companion. Would you feel more comfortable if I talk to them instead?
Huh? Oh, no, she's my advisor.
Right. Anyway, how exactly did you get shipwrecked? What happened to your ship?
Giant fireballs.
He nods. I'm assuming nobody else made it apart from the people you're with.
Well, I hope others made it, but we're the only
As
ones who
far
washed
as
up
we're
there.
aware, we were the only ones that washed up.
This explains a lot of things. I see. He thinks about it for a second. You see that he is the type of guy that likes taking his time, and is usually super quiet and very awkward to be around when he's just standing there thinking. He then suddenly looks back towards you guys and continues. A few days ago, there was a scouting party sent to the western parts of the island. Usually we don't have many low-ranking missions there because the area is very dangerous, filled with nasty beasts. Well, under normal circumstances. What the guys reported was that there was indeed a shipwreck and some survivors. However, they noted that some kind of strange individual was placing traps, almost like they were preparing for some kind of war or something on their own. When they went closer to investigate, before they could make contact with this strange individual, it seems like they were intercepted. They have no memories of what happened. They were knocked out, they saw nothing. When they woke up, they were just outside the cove, and none the wiser for what had happened, and only a splitting headache to their names. So, after that incident, under special circumstances, I took the job of finishing their task. After all, it would reflect back bad on the guild if such a task was left unfinished. When I went to inspect the area, all I saw was destruction, and most of the dangerous beasts have been driven out of their territory. I'm assuming that you can tell me more about this?
There was a woman. We met someone from, well, we met on the Western Isles. She's dangerous, but now taken care of. But either
By
way...
who?
We're not sure.
From what the boys reported, they were ambushed by somebody else. So I'm assuming you didn't just, well, brought one visitor with you, did you?
I do not believe so.
Listen, I'm not gonna inquire into why you're being chased, by who you're being chased, or how strong they are, or how many they are. But I'd like to make a note. This is a quiet place. The people here are nice, they're just trying to make a living. And if you put that into danger, then you and I are going to have a problem. Whatever problems you have, I'd like you to keep them away from here.
We mean the people here, or this place, no harm. Honestly, we're just trying to leave as soon as possible to avoid bringing any trouble here.
You mentioned that one of the people wishing to do harm to you is already dead.
Yes.
Is it safe to assume that this other person who attacked my men is the one responsible?
More than likely. I mean, we did not directly attack them, and apparently no one was there when the incident happened. However, this other one doesn't seem particularly hostile towards us, and left your men alive.
Yes, that's the part that puzzles me. Nothing was taken from them. They were actually carried to safety. That strikes me as rather odd for many reasons.
No offense to your men, but that was probably for the best. The woman wouldn't have been so kind.
I gathered as much considering all the damage she caused. I dabble in alchemy, but I've never seen things like that. Not only that, but I inspected an area that took particularly more damage. It seems like the temperature was so hot that the ground had turned in places into clear glass. And yet, the forest was not entirely burned down. As quick as the fires came, so did they vanish. I've never seen anything like it.
Yes, that's what happened to the woman as well. Fire and then glass, essentially.
Was she a demon?
Actually, Iris shrugs because I'm unsure as well. Because it's like, did Thousand Wolf Months do that? It's like, no, we don't know.
Interesting. At any rate, that's all I wanted to say. If perchance there is more development, please let me know. I'd like to avoid any unnecessary conflicts that may affect the Cove.
Of course, I understand.
Now then, on to the previous matter. It seems that you're a lot more capable than you're letting on. But, that being said, you crashed here and you're down on your luck. You have almost no gear. So, do you still feel confident in a fight?
Iris puts a thumbs up. It's like, of course.
He actually looks towards you, Lucretia, for confirmation.
Yes.
Because he quickly picks up that Iris is the happy-go-lucky type.
Let's go!
Yes,
So,
I do
Lucretia,
believe we're
give him a
capable.
yes then.
Yeah, I do believe we're capable of handling things.
He nods. Very well then. In that case, I'm gonna speak on your behalf, to the guild on your behalf. Even though the tasks inside the volcano are tasked only to adventurer groups that are of rank C, veterans and above, I'm gonna make an exception for you. I'll vouch for you, and I'll take you with me, and my group.
I was wondering something. What grade are you?
I am registered both as a single combatant and as part of a group.
And? Like, she's genuinely interested. 'Cause this dude is carrying a big deal.
My group ranking is B,
Ah, let's see.
which is the highest rank for adventurers. I usually do not take up single jobs anymore. Rather, I focus most of my energy to train up-and-coming groups of adventurers to improve their odds of survival and help them improve their, well, their team tactics.
That's fair.
You would be surprised how powerful the adventurers around here are. However, most of them are plagued by giant eagles. Those must be set aside if one are to work as a group. In
Ew,
fact,
it's
it's
nuts.
mandatory.
Like-
Survival is at stake here.
Iris nods like, yes, that's true. Lucretia's probably glaring at her. But, if B is the highest, what's the point in an A rank?
B is the highest rank afforded to adventurers. Rank A are heroes, and rank S are legendary fighters who possess qualities that can easily win them a fight no matter what kind of opponent they're against.
Have there ever been such people, or are they just held just in case?
Yes, there actually have been a few cases. One of the most recent cases of a S-ranked adventurer is actually a certain woman called, I believe it was Ruhana.
This is
I
really-
immediately
Iris like,
look directly at Iris, like,
You would.
oh.
You wouldn't know her second name by any chance.
Shirokawa.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.